See, guys, it appears that, if you don't examine it too closely, that I come visit my mom and she breaks down and gets sick again, mentally. But you guys should all know by now that appearances can often be deceiving. And that's just, it's not rational to say that I specifically caused my mom to break down. It's not true. She is understandably, has been under an extreme amount of stress, pressure, okay? And that stress, pressure over just the simple lawsuit, okay, against her sister, exasperated by the fact that the damn medication she was on, my mom was crying to me. She's feeling old because she's shaking. And she didn't want to go back on the side effect medication, because the side effect medication itself has side effects, okay? So she didn't know what to do. She actually managed to convince, her doctor to lower her dosage. Okay? But what happened, this is what happened. I came here on a Thursday, sick as a dog, extremely sick, okay, and a bad cold, because my immune system is probably much higher than my mom's because of the fact that I don't eat any kind of meat and I do all the organic and whatnot for the most part, even while I'm in the shelter. I try, I certainly wasn't eating the shelter food like I did last time I was in that lovely place, okay? But I spent a fortune buying organic food during the day, and, I was spending probably the equivalent of what I'd spend on a small amount of rent just on food, okay? I was sick, really sick, like phlegm and just, it was awful, but I actually started feeling better by Sunday. That doesn't happen normally. Normally colds last a lot longer than that. I wasn't completely better, but I started feeling better, okay? Unfortunately, as is prone to happen with anybody, it's just life, My mom started feeling sick that Sunday that I started feeling better. When I first arrived here, my mom and I were getting along fine. We were even contemplating, although both of us know that it probably shouldn't happen, but we were contemplating maybe, her getting another note of me living here again. Just contemplating it. But remember, I was still planning on moving out on the 5th, okay? Because my mom was going to take care of Omar. I was moving where I couldn't have Omar. And I've been trying very hard to find a place with Omar. It's not easy, because I'm not going to lie to anybody and say that he's housebroken when he's not. We're damned, Omar. You're not, both fucking misfits. You're not housebroken, and I'm psychologically disabled. What a fucking pair, huh? Alright, anyway. On to that, my mom's starting to get sick, okay? And she consequently, because of her sickness, just morphed into a royal fucking bitch. And she was not sleeping. She claimed it was her cold. I'm not sleeping because I'm like, yeah, no. She was forcing herself just to stay awake with coffee, just like it was deja vu. It's just like what happened last February. She needed to sleep. She refused to sleep. She was, this time there was no organic soup to be made. She wasn't making organic soup and staying up all night. No, but she was staying up watching stuff, and she just, I don't know. It's like, for some reason, getting physically sick pushed her over the edge into mental sickness. How the hell do I know why? I bet even doctors couldn't tell you why, but that's what happened. It's exactly what happened. I came here and she was being unbelievably nice and normal. The second she started feeling sick, she just changed into a royal bitch, okay? Apparently her friend, and I'm putting that in quotation because I can't stand the woman, even my aunt who died last summer couldn't stand the woman, and even, you know who can't stand her, okay? She's a user, she's whatever. But anyway, she accosted my mom in church. Alright? I don't know if it was that Sunday. Maybe it was the following Sunday when she'd already been. No, it might have been. It doesn't matter. That's just an aside. But, all these things add up. The woman accosted her, wanted her to do what she was doing before, crap with the food stamp card. Lots of people do that. You use my food stamp card to buy your food and give me cash. My mom didn't want any part of it, and she was upset about that. It may have actually been that Sunday. Yeah, I think it was. When I'd only been here a few days. So since I was still sick, and because I'm moving out, I have a definite home. It was definite. There was no vagary. There's not vague, if that's a word. There's no. That's probably not a word, but you know what I mean. There was no question I was moving out. I wasn't living here anyway. My stuff's all in storage. I'm not living here. Okay. My stuff's all in storage, just visiting on the weekends. Okay. And all the other weekends I've visited, my mom, didn't have a breakdown. So that's what happened. And yeah, it probably was that Sunday, so that didn't help. My mom was starting to feel sick. And it went downhill from there, that week. It was just like that other February, complete with her working herself into a frenzy. And then blaming me that I upset her, even calling her friends and saying that I upset her. She came home one day talking about how Omar and I can move in with this 84-year-old man, and don't worry, you don't have to have sex with him. It's like, I don't want that, Mom. I am trying to find a decent place for me and Omar, okay? But, I was going to move in with that woman. And the thing is, after a whole week of watching my mother go downhill, the same thing she always does, calling people, and just rambling on and on, or rambling on, not sleeping, forcing herself to stay awake. I'm getting up now with Omar, and that's fine. But my mom gets sick, and she suddenly wants both the dogs to sleep with me. She suddenly focused, obsessed with what she already knows about that Omar's not housebroken, and you know what I mean? She just was losing it. She was losing it. That's all I can say. It's really, if you look at it. And then, of course, I gave her the cold in her eyes, but you know what, that happens all the time, and, I didn't even necessarily get it on the shelter. You can get it on the bus, you can get it in the air, it's the way it goes, but it was like she couldn't deal with that. Probably because, she'd been fine. I know she's taking her meds, and then